What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. I am the Guitarist 562 and I do video game guides and walkthroughs. And in today's video, I'm going to go over potential Spear Dagger builds that you are currently curious about and want to know how you can optimize for the new class that's come out. As you guys already know, the Spear Dagger, a lot of people feel that it lacks luster because it lacks hit or it lacks speed. But a lot of that can actually be fixed because of the passives that you're currently running. And you have to decide how you want to play your class. Do you want to optimize for strength, dexterity, perception, etc.? Obviously, I have a mixture of different things, so that way I can get the stuff that I need. And I'm gonna give you guys an example. So with this different window open, I'm gonna show you guys different builds. So a lot of people are asking, what's a good greatsword dagger build? I mean, a greatsword spear build. You could probably mess around with it with this as well, with the greatsword spear, something similar to this. This is gonna be my melee evasion with like heavy, heavy attack chance build that you can run with spear dagger. As you can see here, I'm not actually running that build. I'm running like a variation of it. If you want to have high hit, you're gonna obviously lose out on a bunch of different things. For example, you're not optimizing for your full melee and range endurance, which should both be at like 800 or 900 if you're gonna be tanking, because the class, from what I've seen, is really good for endurance. It has a lot of collision resistance, etc. Now, the thing is, do you want to run spear dagger, spear staff, or spear greatsword? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that this build, yeah, it has high hit. I'm missing the extra hit, for example, if I had actually the 60 dexterity. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what that looks like if you had the 60. Boom. And right there, you can actually see that I have 1266, 1286 with the spear out, and obviously you have your masteries as well that you have to account for too and run the right skills. So obviously you're not going to run this build. You're still missing a lot of crucial things, especially with the runes that are currently out. It's going to be a lot more successful to build your class more efficiently. So in the meantime, there's going to be a bunch of different builds that you can run that I'm going to show you via quest log. A lot of people should already have a lot of these builds. For example, this is a kind of like a theory crafted build that I have. I can go ahead and buy it out now. I'm probably gonna do that in KR because I already have this whole setup. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. But the reason why this setup is really nice is because it has the added attack speed. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit more too, because you can't see a lot of the buffs that are actually being active. Now, this chest piece is subjective because if you want to have more hit, you can definitely swap it out for the dex chest piece as well. Like, for example, I still have 9 points left over. If I really wanted to go for more points, I can just go right here. Boom. And with this build is a full tier 1 build with the Band of Universal Power. You have 50 dex, 50 strength, and 50 perception. And why this build is extremely important is because it is based off of having a full setup with full runes and everything. So if you go ahead and click this build, you're going to see that I have runes active, and this is a stat that I have. I have 1100 hit chance. I have ranged evasion 1000 before the roll, 1300 magic evasion before the roll, and you can optimize who you're fighting. Do you want the runes for magic evasion? And then here's the endurance that I have. I have 480 ranged endurance, but since this magic endurance, I should switch it over to the range endurance to optimize for the already preset build of what this build is already offering. So, for example, what does that mean? You can kind of go in and check the runes and see what you have. As you can see, I have magic endurance, but I can go ahead and switch that over to ranged endurance, and then boom, look what happened here. My ranged endurance went up. So when you're doing these builds, you want to double check to make sure that you have everything that's complementing the build as a whole, because you can't Mickey Mouse it and have a little bit here, a little bit there. You need to mid max and have everything definitive, because otherwise you're gonna have stuff like this. As you can see, the magic evasion, I'm fine with that, mainly because I don't like fighting staff players, because they're the ones that generally do the most damage. So these are all magic evasion, and then range endurance, and let's see the build magic endurance. Let's go ahead and replace that. And sure enough, once this is all good and said and done, here we go. 624 ranged endurance. And now let's go ahead and see if the last two things, which is weapon, this has melee evasion. This is not what I want. So let's go ahead and slap that on with more magic evasion. And let's see the daggers, which is the last bit, melee hit chance. So here we go. Magic evasion 1361 before the roll. And again, you can get more hit by swapping out this chest piece. This is a theory crafted build. The reason why I like it is because of the attack speed. And as you guys already know, you can actually, I push to up to 70% attack speed. Obviously with passives, realistically, you can get 40% attack speed just by existing if you do the right skills. But this is if you're fighting ranged magic users as a spear dagger. I like this build. Now, you might ask, why am I not using the other helmet that I had in other builds? For example, like you have the the heroic hood of the resistance, or versus the other chest piece. As you can see, like I have a couple other builds here. Let me see if I can find it. Crossbow dagger arenas. Let's see. Let's see. I gotta find staff dagger high hit. For example, the heroic hood of tunic of the resistance that has good stats too. But it boils down to like, what is your survivability? What is your playstyle? You need to decide what is more comfortable for you, because if you're aggressive, sure, you're gonna need to have HP, attack speed, and also have high hit. So let me go ahead and look at my HP for this build. It's only 13k, but obviously you're just gonna kind of go in, do your stuff, and then basically dip off with it, your cloak, because you can do a nice entry level skill with your passes. I have the skills here too, along with the mastery. Now for melee evasion, it's a little bit different. Same thing. I was basically theory crafting for the greatsword spear. This is kind of something similar that I would be using, mainly because you get 50 strength, 30 dex, and 60 perception. As you can see, my health is 14k, and what is my hit at? Let's go ahead. It's 1,000, a little bit lower. I didn't fully put in some of the stuff, but as you can see, let's look at the melee evasion and then the endurance. My melee evasion is 1677. As you guys know, a properly geared tank that really wants to kill you, they're floating around 1100. 1,000 hit. If they're only 2-piece general, they might have lower hit. But for me, my character, I have around 1,500 hit, so this wouldn't do anything. But for the ones that have lower hit, you can definitely avoid the dagger swipes. The other spears will have low hit. You have a 33% chance to evade. 50% if it's double their hit. And then here's my endurance. As you can see, it's 800, and my range endurance is 630 right there. Anyway, moving forward, obviously I still gotta tweak these out because I didn't fix it for the other build. I have magic endurance here. I'm gonna have to switch that over to optimize to have 800 range endurance as well. Now I'm gonna show you another build, which is gonna be kind of like a free-to-play build, the one that I'm currently using right now, to show you guys how much extra hit that you can get using the heroic hood of the resistance. You can get your, let's see. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the melee, so you're gonna lose out on that. But these gloves, you're going to lose out on the heavy attack too. I know the game itself gives you a good chunk of heavy attack chance, but the spear itself also gives you a good chunk of heavy attack chance, but you can kind of make up for it right here. And now when you look at the attack speed, I dropped from 22 to 18% because I don't have the double attack speed. But this is like another build that you can technically run. And the necklace that you have here, the Icy Necklace of Cold Strength, there's different options that you can choose. You can definitely decide for yourself. You're going to ask why I didn't use a Clasp of the Conqueror. You can, but the reason for it is because you're going to want to have some hit. Let me see if I can squeeze it in. Nope, I can't get any more. Dexter, I can definitely go a little bit lower, but like this is just another free-to-play build that you can have. Let's look at the hit that you can have. 1100 hit with this build. And you got to remember, like, this is with runes and everything. So if we were to kind of like tweak this, for example, and you wanted to have like a greatsword build, a dentist greatsword, which is what I currently have, I can drop this down. Go to 50, and let's see if I can get to 60 perception. Yes, I can. And then I have 7 points left over. So let's see if I can squeeze it up there and get some more dexterity. Can't. So let's go ahead. We can go ahead and use the other spear dagger. We're going to use that. And we're going to go ahead and swap this one out, which is going to be greatsword. So I can show you guys. I know you guys are asking what I'm currently running. Going to use a greatsword block for that too. I don't think we need this one anymore. And you're going to use a lot more greatsword skills and different mastery, of course. So let's go ahead. Cooldown speed. Nope. You're going to want the melee heavy attack chance and stun duration. So let's go ahead and finish that up so we can wrap up the video. So I can give you all 3 potential builds. You're going to want to have the high hit here. You want to have the stun, and you want to have the skill damage boost. And it's pretty much easily slots in. Not a big deal. This shield also gives you extra heavy attack chance. It's just a crazy, insane build. I personally like the greatsword stuns a lot more. They're just better in my opinion. They just last longer. So that's just again, completely my own opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I've played with it for a while now, and I can tell you what I like and I dislike about the class so far. So let's go ahead and remove that. I'm trying to remove that. Hold on, where is it? So we're gonna go ahead and put this skill in. So douche, 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 and then boom, and then where is the guy crash right here? This skill and another skill. You just cannot ignore. Like you need to have this skill. You need to have this skill. And where's the javelin throw? You need to have this skill. These are like your 3 main skills that you need to have. This one follows pretty well the rising slash, but I'm still not completely sold on it yet. but like this is kind of like a tweaked out build that you can have just today. So let's go ahead and save that. The mastery's already set in its ways. I didn't put the mastery in there, so that's just for, I don't want to drag this video too long, but look at my melee hit chance now, 1466 with the exact same build. And you have the evasion that you need to basically do what you need. Obviously, I would use a variation of this with this too if I really wanted to. Both good builds, but you got to remember that what you're compensating because you don't have the dagger anymore, you're going to have 23% attack speed before Da Vinci's Courage. You are also missing out on the dagger passive to be able to roll. So, but that's fine because your melee, this is a melee hit build. So let's see, melee evasion is 1584 and your endurance is 800. Your range endurance is 630. Remember, this 144 is going to go into the range endurance. Like, what I mean by that, let's go ahead and take a look. This is magic evasion. We don't even need that. We could just fully spec into, now you can just spec into melee evasion now. So you got a mid-max doing this. This is what's going to make you really stand above the rest. So go ahead and do that with all of your accessories to just dominate, dude. Like you can literally just dominate with this. The biggest thing I've learned about the spear is that if you don't have the attack speed, you're gonna have a miserable time. You're not gonna have fun, and you're gonna think the class is not good. But that's just not true. The class is very good. You just gotta build it correctly, and you're missing stuff that, it's definitely missing stuff that I noticed that is more prevalent in KR. But for this right now, it's really, really good. So let's see what my melee evasion is at right now. 1728. Let's double check to make sure everything's good. Range endurance, melee evasion, melee evasion. Let's look at the great sword. Melee hit, skill damage, magic endurance. Nope. See right there. Gotta make sure this goes into, I think, did I have range endurance? Yeah, I did. And then boom. So range endurance is now at 726, almost at 800. Let's look at the spear. And we're done. So that is spear greatsword. Let me go ahead and rename this to spear greatsword. It'll be available on my quest log. I have a bunch of different builds. People have made me make a quick build for them, and your combat power looks right here, and it's, you could do whatever you want. I will say that the mana of this class definitely consumes it too much, so you're definitely gonna have to figure out whether you want to have you're gonna find a way to get some mana regen in there. I still haven't figured that out yet because it's for a quick fight, not a long fight. But yeah, so you have your magic enranged, your melee evas, spear dagger, and I have spear staff builds too on the way, but I wanted to have something up for you guys right now. Anyway, with that said, let me go ahead and show you guys why it's a big deal. Because when you have this build, just because you have low attack speed, I wish I had the attack speed that I had from the general gloves. You know, I'll just do it right now just to show you guys. I'm gonna put that on, and let me put on the other general helmet. I'm missing stats, but I'll just leave that the way it is. This is my attack speed right now, 17.6. I don't have the attack speed of the runes. Obviously, I'm missing some stuff, but let's go ahead and show you that when you do use your certain skills, you're gonna basically increase your attack speed to an insane amount, and then we'll basically conclude the video right there. I'm gonna have to remove one of my passives because one of them gives you 30% attack speed with like, I think it's like a 10% chance. Let's see. One gives you 12%, another one gives you 12.5%. Do those two things and you'll be solid. If the victim of the user's weakened dies within 10 seconds, has an 80% chance to increase attack speed. Has a 30% chance. That's what I was talking about. But that's exclusive to classes that have weakened skills. Obviously the spear has its own weaken, but it's a little bit harder to proc those. Let's show you right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather these around. But the easiest way I found it is with staff. You use like flames, or you can use this thunderclouds. Look at my attack speed right now, it's 17. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack speed to 30%. I gotta make sure I keep putting the weaken on. I'm gonna put the daggers out. And the last thing is the split skill gives you another attack speed, so now I'm at 42%. And lastly, the big cool thing about this is the extra passive that gives you that 30%, which will push me to 72% attack speed. Why that's important is because without the attack speed, I'm just gonna attack and show you right now. Look how slow it is. 4, 5 versus. Now let me go ahead and get the group again and show you what that looks like with more attack speed. The same exact skill. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Let's see, I gotta kill a couple people. Let me get my attack speed up. 60%. Okay. I need a higher concentration of mobs, so let me go deeper in, so that way you guys can see it, because these skills work they synergize better with attack speed, and on top of that, I forgot to mention the cooldown speeds are also really cool too. Okay, so let me go pop a poison. Alright, that guy's dead. Unfortunately, these mobs aren't thick enough to last longer than that. But imagine, I get to 70% attack speed at 17%. I know crossbow dagger players are already walking around with 40% or 50% attack speed. That's why I was considering the Holy Choker necklace. It's a PvE build for that one though, if I use that one. But there's also the Abyss ring that gives you the attack speed. You'll get a lot of these cool PvP ones once you get to tier 2 with the Talandre update. So it kind of sucks that you're not going to really see the chunky attack speeds. But here before I die, so okay, cool. What's my attack speed at right now? 72%. Not bad. So it just kind of sucks that you won't be able to feel a lot of this stuff until you fully min-max everything. But you can definitely do a lot of that. Like this speed right here, once I get it to +5, and actually I want to try out the Shadow Harvester set, the 4-piece. I want to see if I can get to like 30-40% base attack speed with the tier 1 set. Because like with the Shadow Harvester set, I could have like an extra 10% along with the other ring. Like I have attack speed from here, and I'm missing attack speed also from, you got to remember, the spear itself. It gives you 6.5 at 10, which I'm missing. And all that stuff, it slowly adds up. So that's my final take on the whole issue on the spear dagger, spear staff. Should you build for a melee Eva build? Also, I wouldn't run Frenzy Dance. I just liked it because it looked cool right now for the video. But I wouldn't run that. Like, it's not a skill I personally would run. Alright. So, I can go ahead and take this off and put 2 other different skills, but that's a cool thing to kind of check out right now. Let me know what you guys think of the different theory-crafted builds. I do have a screenshot in my Discord where I dropped basically like, I think 15 or 20 kills in arenas with the melee Eva and endurance build. But that's entirely up to you whether you want to follow that path. You got to remember the builds are respective to who you're fighting. If you're fighting tanks and greatswords, sure, and spears, sure. Now that's awesome. But if your focus is you're going to be fighting great longbow staffs in the back line, which is what you're supposed to be fighting, then ranged and magic evasion. So that other build might be more viable for you. Now I'm gonna wait for the spear staff and spear other videos or longbow. So I mean the double shield with the spear longbow is gonna be cool because you could have that and the other weakened shield. But that's it. So don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and let me know which build you liked and if you wanted me to make any more build guides videos in the future. So take it easy, guys, and as always, stay blessed.